And once more, thank you so much for your commitment and welcome to today's session. It's been quite the journey, 5 weeks of learning, 5 weeks of growing, and we're always glad to have you on board. As usual, say hi in the chat. We can begin the engagement. Let us know where you're joining us from. Any changes, as usual, we'd love to hear from you that you made to your businesses from when we started, whether big or small. We love to hear it. We began with mastering financial literacy for business growth, went to work-life harmony, building a legacy, and last week we had a very exciting session on applied AI and leveraging artificial intelligence for business efficiency. And today we're expanding our horizons just a bit more and seeing how we can leverage on strategic partnerships and global markets. So we keep on expanding the borders, expanding the horizons, and we hope that you are excited for today's session and ready to learn. So thank you so much. We see you logging in. We see Duncan from Mombasa. We see Bomet in the house. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, we are very pleased to see the commitment and the commitment you have to the growth of your businesses. So thank you so much for joining in once more. Today's session is very interesting. We will have Frida taking us through the training session. But before Frida begins, we are joined by our Director for Business Banking, Mr. Suraj Shah, who will, this is all about strategic partnerships. So even before we go global, we want to see from here, what does it take to partner with a financial institution like DTB? And we have none other than our Business Banking Director to speak to us before we proceed to the training. So as always, you can share what you're looking forward to in the session and how partnerships have worked for you or how partnerships have taken your businesses to the next level. And just allow me to also announce, we didn't send out Module 4's presentation and recordings last week, but you will receive them in the email this week. So without much further ado, allow me to introduce Suraj. So Mr. Suraj Shah joined DTB in 2003 and is currently the head of business banking, having previously served as the head of centralized operations. He has over the years interacted with SMEs and gained invaluable insights on what it takes for them to grow and thrive. He has also expansive experience in running tech as well as operational excellence projects. Prior to joining the bank, he acquired several years of experience in various positions with other banks in Kenya, and he is a fellow of the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants. So as always, you are in very good hands, and we look forward to seeing how your businesses transform from this session. So karibu sana, Suraj.
Thank you, Mantui. Just so that we get off to a good start, can you, show of hands, we can hear me clearly?
Yes, I think we've gotten, yeah.
Good, and you can see me, if that helps.
Yes, we've also gotten,
okay.
Yeah.
Good. So, without too much ado, Mantui has introduced me, but let me give you a little bit of background quickly. I'm a Kenyan, fourth generation Kenyan, been in the industry for about 32 years in the banking world, have done a lot of work around growth of this bank, particularly DTB, over the last 22 years. I joined the bank when we were 3 branches, and we are now at 89 branches. And we hope to close at about 100 branches before the end of the year. So we've seen phenomenal growth within the bank. And that growth has largely been due to the SME customers, largely. And we pride ourselves in calling ourselves an SME bank, And we work towards SME products, and we've been working very hard to bring in SMEs, to nurture them, to manage them, to grow them, to give them products that suit their needs. And I'm proud to say that a lot of the customers I started with in 2003, today, 20 years plus down the line, are sitting as corporates, and command markets. They command a lot of business within the region. They've scaled across borders, some of them, and it's a proud moment for DTB when we hear the success stories of customers that we have nurtured over the years. They still remain loyal to us, and I guess they will remain loyal to us because of what and where we have taken them. So today for me was, I have about half an hour with you, but what I want to talk to you about is what I've learned over the years, to start with, around the SME space. And fundamentally, what I'm seeing is, and it's something that we should all be aware of, cash flow. So what do I see with the SME space? There's cash flows, good sales. They're doing the right business. They're managing their business. They know the trade, but they are poor at managing their cash flow. Meaning their collections sometimes are weak. The collection mechanisms are weak. Their discipline is, when we see cash, it's let's do more. But sometimes that doing more, whilst it's in the right interest of the business, if you don't manage your collections, if you don't manage your liquidity, if you don't manage your customers, you will find yourselves in a place where there's a crunch. So cash flow, from a cash flow perspective, retention, cash flow is critical for us. So for me, it is key to this business is SMEs must learn to manage cash flow. They must understand their cycles. They must understand their trade cycles. They must understand their buying and purchasing cycles, and how long it takes to turn around stock or assets that they sell. How long it takes for them to collect from the market if they do indeed give credit. If they do cash business, how quickly can we convert that cash into new trade and new stock? And so that's sort of one of the main things that we see around the SME space and how they manage it. A second thing that we see with the SMEs is that they are not registered. So they have very few documents that they keep. They are not formally registered. So we will find a lot of entrepreneurs as individuals, but not with registered businesses. Now, what happens there is when we operate as an individual versus a registered business, an entity commands more respect from the market than an individual, particularly when you look at financing, when you look at managing a working capital cycle. So it is one of the areas that we must, or SMEs must focus on, to find a way to formally register within the banking, within the regulatory framework of the country that they operate in. Documentation, bookkeeping, those are the ones that become critical, how they maintain their books so that they understand what is coming in, what is going out, what they're retaining on a day-to-day basis for working capital, and or how are they creating profit for themselves that is then shown in the books, because a financier will always look at how you're doing, how is your debtor-creditor cycles, how is your stock turnover cycles, and if that is well kept, then it makes it easier for a financier or an investor come into the business to look at. So second sort of fundamental point for me. Obviously, we know this, and it is a well-known fact that access to finance is a main barrier. But if we get the cash flow cycle right, if there is repayment capacity, then that is the first barrier that SMEs need to cross. The second thing is that to get some form of collateral and build some collateral. So as SMEs scale, and I see a lot of these SMEs in the market that are doing really well, but have no collateral. So the first thing I ask them, when you take a typical SME, the first thing I ask an SME is, you're doing really well. I can see that the business does really well, but how are you scaling your business? Why do you not have an asset in your books? Why do you not have a vehicle that moves or ferries your goods from place to place? Because even a vehicle is an asset which can be used to access some form of credit. Right? So collateral becomes one of the key factors when we're assessing SMEs, but the main one is cash flow. So let me not ever dilute cash flow. Management of cash flow is key, but collateral becomes one of the barriers to entry for finance. And it has been a barrier traditionally. But when you have strong debtors, when you have people that you supply blue chips, then there's a regular business coming through, then that becomes a key element for assessment. Another area that I sort of see again with the SME spaces, it is one or two individuals running the show, and when they're not there, the business sort of crumbles. So a proprietor on an SME must always be there. So something like succession planning, making sure that there is that the business continues to grow or to operate even when the main promoters are not there, is one of the critical areas that we see. And because of the relationships, and we see this again, is because of relationships, the proprietor that built an SME business becomes the main person that people know. And we always say this, that whilst you know the customers, you brought them on board, there must be a succession with you, whether that's a management team or there are 2-3 people that you are bringing on board that can manage those relationships so that the main proprietor can continue to look for new business. So it's a barrier to growth as well, because if the proprietor is so busy managing the relationships that they've built that they're not able to look for new relationships, which is really, again, one of the areas that I think that SMEs can be better at. Again, it comes into the relationships, management of your customers, management of your key relationships, management to keep them happy so that they keep on coming back to you. Whether it's banking or it's a trade business or it's a small proprietorship, remember, when you keep the customer happy, there will be referrals. They will talk about you. When your products are good, when your service delivery is efficient, people will talk about you. And that is where you scale your business. So critical. Manage your base, manage the customers you built, keep them happy, give them good service, give them good products. Don't fail them in the product delivery. Don't fail them with substandard products, because when a customer leaves you for a substandard product or substandard service, it is highly likely that they won't come back, because there is a lot of competition in that space. Technology. definitely, I think that SMEs can do a lot more with technology, and use and deploy technology. So today, tech tools allow you to manage your books. They do basic accounting. They do all payments, whether it's mobile banking or it's internet banking or it's using point of sale devices. Tech is critical to SMEs, but more than that, it is useful. Technology or digital payments are the key for SME success. So, this Kenya operates on sort of M-Pesa, but there are so many ways to receive payments without the use of cash for delivery of goods and services. So those things are critical to the tech space, to the SME space. And really, whilst we know that SMEs do take a lot of chances because they want to scale their businesses, because they're new in the market, they've got to be careful. They've got to be careful so that they don't end up losing the little capital that they start operating with. They don't lose it to high risk investments or to high risk sectors, so that there is no loss of goodwill amongst the sector, amongst the peers, amongst the customers, and it's important to maintain that. Reputation becomes critical in this space. So those are the high-level insights. We do know that the regulator, the tax regime, those become big pains or players in the SME space. You have city councils to deal with, you have KRA to deal with, you have licensing to deal with. But like any other country, we are no different. The SME space is no different. It's something that SMEs must learn to manage. They must learn to manage regulatory shocks. So we've experienced the tax regime in Kenya, growing from what it was to what it is today. Last year was a big revelation. We got a lot of burden on taxes. We got a lot of burden on NHIF, and we got a lot of burden on the social security funds, which was not anticipated. Our VATs went up, our taxes went up, and these are things that, as I highlighted earlier on, it is something that it's an inherent economic risk that SMEs must be cognizant of. It can happen at any time. It will happen all the time. And it is where the economy sits. So it's something that we must anticipate. And this is where I've always said, keep something aside for a rainy day, build up cash, build up capital, because that capital will come in handy when we get such regulatory shocks. Okay. So those are the insights, high-level insights into my SME space, into the SMEs that we have worked with, into the SMEs that we've nurtured. The people who have always progressed well are the ones that manage their cash, that manage their repayments, and that manage their customers. So those are my high-level points around the SME space, the insights that I've learned, and how we can improve this space. So I have one more thing, and that I'll tell you is, and I want you to remember these things. When, as a bank, what we look at to lend or to onboard an SME, we call them the 5 C's. So let me talk about the 5 C's. The 5 C's are character first. Your character, your credit history is critical for a bank. It will be critical for a supplier in time to come. It'll be critical for a regulator in time to come. So your credit history, your compliance to tax, your compliance to the laws of the land, and your experience over time that you've built up displays your leadership, displays your commitment to your business. So character becomes one of the, that's my first C. My second C is capacity, is can you pay the loan? Do you have enough monies left over at the end of every day, every month, that if you took credit from a bank, can you repay that loan? So capacity is the second C. Capital. How much money do you put into the business? How much money did the proprietor put into the business that gives the bank or any financier the ability to see that the person is vested in their business? It's the first thing we look at. And as bankers or any investor come into your business, they will ask you this question: how much did you put in to your business, and how much are you vested in your business before we can lend you money? If we find that an SME is vested in their business, it gives us that much more confidence that they are keen to grow, that they want to grow, that lending money to them is a good bet. I talked about collateral earlier, and really, what can you give as collateral? Always start to build some form of collateral as you start to scale your businesses, because collateral will come in handy. If not immediately, it will definitely come in handy. So try and build some collateral, try and put some monies aside to create some form of collateral, whether that is your house that you start living, that you're living in initially, or a vehicle, or any form of asset that you have. And my last C is, and what we look at is, what is the market like? What is your sector like? What is the market in, for example, oil and gas at that point in time that are borrowers with us, or in construction, or in the trade industry? How do the riots affect us? How do the mandamanos, how will they affect the area that you're in, that you're located in? What will happen to that SME if there was a shock, or the economic climate changes, or there's a regulatory change? How will that affect the SME? So I want to leave it at that. I just want to say, as a banker, we look at the 5 C's. I'll repeat them again for your sort of knowledge: character, capacity, collateral, capital, and the conditional, the conditions, the economic conditions in the market. So ladies and gentlemen, really, DTB is here to support you. DTB is here to give you these products. DTB is here to guide you on how to manage your cash flows. DTB can give you all the products that we have work for this SME, whether that is if you are starting your businesses, or you've started your businesses, and you require some form of asset creation. What we do is we do asset finance. If you have then created your business and you need to fund some of the gaps between your payment cycles to buying stock versus the time that your customers pay you, which is what we call working capital, we are able to bridge working capital finance. We're here from a trade perspective, whether if you are trading with a known blue chip, we're happy to look at who you trade with and how we can ring fence your cash flows and bring them in what we call supply chain finance. And out of that, slightly more sophisticated products, we have the trade finance products. So if you're doing cross-border trades, if you're doing imports from out of the country, we're able to support those imports. We're able to support bridging finance for those imports. We're able to, depending on who you supply to within the country, we're able to offer products to create letters of credit or financial cross-border guarantees. And last but not least, one thing that I must say is SMEs must remember that insurance is key. We have recently witnessed some of the downfalls on SMEs are because of lack of insurance. So 2-3 things I want to mention on that insurance side is, remember credit protection. Credit protection is when you take a loan, the bank will take credit protection. In the event, and God forbid, you are incapacitated, then the loan is paid off. So the business can continue to run without you, which speaks to my earlier message on succession. The second one is collateral insurance. If we had all had insurance when we had Mandamano, when and we saw that very sadly, some of the shops got looted. That is critical insurance that we must have. At a minimum, you must have what we call an all-risk or a collateral insurance or a stock insurance, so that when such shocks happen, fire, burglary, terrorism, unforeseen acts of God, you are insured. And one more thing, don't forget things like domestic insurance. Don't forget to insure your domestic contents. Because remember, SMEs have used everything they've built in their house, in their businesses, is built from the capital that they made from their business. So if you don't have insurance for your contents at home, and God forbid there is something that happens, what will happen? You will take the cash out of your business to go and rebuild your houses or rebuild the assets that you had in your house. If you had insurance, which is a small cost to pay, then that is covered. So, ladies and gentlemen, audience, I know I may have been a little bit fast, and I apologize for my speed. It's my passion for the business that sort of drives me in telling you everything I've told you. It's not intentional, but I'm happy to meet with anyone on a one-on-one. I have a team of people that run around the country, talking to SMEs, guiding them, telling them what we need. And I'm happy to do that one-on-one with anyone that has a query, that needs some information, that needs assistance to build their business. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will stop here. Thank you very much for listening to me, and I will open up the floor to any questions.
Thank you so much, Suraj. You can receive your virtual rounds of applause from our audience. So those are like over 20 years experience packed up in a few minutes. I hope, ladies and gentlemen, you've really taken note of those insights that you will not get every day. So it's really good insights that have been shared. So thank you so much, Suraj. I can see a few people who've raised their hands. So I will allow you to talk. I've allowed Geoffrey, Duncan, Simon, and Sheila. So any one of you can just speak, and then we'll maybe address a few of the questions before we continue with the training. And if you can also address your questions to the Q&A tab, and we'll try and answer as many as possible before we proceed. So Duncan. Vincent as well, I've seen you've raised your hand. So any one of you who is able to speak can proceed. Okay, as we wait for them to unmute, we have a question from an anonymous attendee who says, what SME products does DTB have? I think you've mentioned a few of them. Do you have business expansion loans, and how do you determine the loan amounts disbursed from the initial proprietor capital And this person also asked, can I get a business loan using my personal bank statement, given that I started the business before registering the business and had no account for it yet? Yeah.
So I can answer the question.
Yes, yes.
Yes, you can. Yes, you do qualify, but I will tell you, this is the point I raised earlier. A lot of proprietors started their businesses as individuals and then formalized them. So yes, we do look at the length of time that you've been in the business, whether you're an individual or whether you have formed a proprietorship and formally registered. It is important that you have. We can look at your capital. We can look at what you've pumped into the business. Remember, without a good set of books, it will be difficult for you to show how much you've pumped into your business. And this is why I said that bookkeeping is critical to management for any financier to look at. So yes, you may have an informal way of sort of pumping in your capital, but it becomes difficult for a financier to look at that. Having said that, there are a lot of customers that we do support because we've seen that they're established businesses, that they've been in one location for many years, that they have a good customer base behind them that is loyal, that supports them. So look, there are many factors to consider when we look at that. What I would always advise is look at first trying to also create some form of collateral. And that's where sort of my asset finance comes in. Do look at some collateral. Do look at buying little mortgages. Mortgages today under the KMRC, if you didn't know this, they're priced at the lowest price in the market today. So did you know that you can buy a house for up to 9 million shillings for 20 years and only have to pay about 95,000 shillings a month and eventually own a house, which owning a house eventually and having paid down a little bit of that loan will become your collateral for growth of your business. So just giving you some thoughts around SMEs, what should we do? What shall we do? Or buying a car for your business, which can eventually serve to become your collateral.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much. I think I'll take one more question and then we can proceed. As always, just as has been mentioned, you can reach out to us and, for more in-depth or questions that are more customized to your business, you can reach out to us after the presentation and we will be able to support where we can. So I'll just read one more question. Okay, what is the minimum and maximum asset finance you are currently giving? I think we can close with that. Yeah.
So depending on the length depending on the sort of value of the car, whether you're buying a brand new car, whether you're buying a second-hand car, there is a law around the value of the vehicle we finance. So if you're buying a second-hand car, it's got to be registered within 8 years of the market. But 8 years of registration. So more if it's registered post 8 years, then becomes a little bit difficult to finance. But we do look at giving a little bit of working capital against that vehicle, even if it's a little bit older than 8 years. So working capital we can use a vehicle as collateral, but buying a car minimum maximum depends on how new the car is. How long the tenor is, how long sort of your repayment capacity is. So just to put it in a nutshell or put it simply, if you can pay the amount for a car, typically second-hand cars, we ask for a down payment on them, and we give 80% financing, 70 to 80%. But if the car is very old, then we will give you less in terms of financing. If it's a brand new car, you buy it out of the showroom, we can go up to 100% financing. And how long do you want it for? We can go up to 5 years of finance.
Great, thank you, thank you. Eunice, I've seen you've been able to unmute.
Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. I have a question concerning the types of insurance. I didn't understand on the insurance and example, if you're doing the construction business, what will be your advice on the best type of insurance to take for the type of business? Thank you.
Sorry, I missed you broke up at a certain point.
My question is on the insurance. I didn't understand well on the types of insurance to take for the business.
Yes.
And my second question is, what will be your advice to someone who is doing real estate and construction business, the type of insurance to take?
Okay. So insurance comes in many different forms, but when you look at your particular type of business, construction, remember you have materials on a site at any given time. So what I would advise for you is what we call a contractor all risk cover. It it covers the stock or your stocks. It covers the machinery on site at a particular time. So that is one of the insurances I would recommend. The second one is the what we call a workers' compensation. So in the event one of your people get hurt or injured on site, then you've got that insurance covered because medical bills can hurt you. And the third one is that, the usual, if you're storing your materials at your particular premises, then we have what we call stock insurance or debenture insurance that covers this material or assets on site. So whether they're at a customer site, you've got to have what we call a contractor's all risk. But if they're at your premises, then we recommend that you do stock insurance within or asset insurance, all asset insurance for your premise. We also recommend the WIBA, which is the workers' benefit, workers' insurance benefit. I forget the A, but there is something that covers your workers in the event of unforeseen calamity.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you, Eunice. Thank you, Suraj. So I will also share our contacts on the chat so that you can reach any of our service agents for further support. And as always, you're welcome to any of our branches that are spread across the country for any support that you would need. So I think we can wind up there, and maybe Suraj, you can just give your closing remarks and the one thing from all that you've shared that businesses can just take home from today. Thank you.
So the one thing I tell SMEs, the one thing that I tell myself every single day is customer is king. Keep them happy, keep them coming back. If they come back, your business will grow. Make sure that they become your evangelists. Make sure that they become your main supporters. Because when you do that well, ladies and gentlemen, you will be something, someone one day. Keep them happy.
Thank you. Thank you so much. What a way to end it. Customer is king. Once again, thank you so much, Suraj, for taking the time to share these rich insights. I know the SMEs on the call appreciate this greatly. So thank you once more. And we're very appreciative. So at this point, allow me now to welcome Frida, who can begin part 2 of today's session. And we thank you again for your engagement. Let's keep at it. Karibu sana, Frida.
Oh, wow. I must say thank you to Suraj. Suraj, thank you so much. And I was listening to everything you said, and one thing I've never had another bank share with us is the important, and as I put myself as an SME too, the importance of having collateral. We just go on singing and singing that, oh, SMEs don't have collateral, but you have encouraged us to begin where we are at, get a car, get a house, so that at least you have collateral, and stop singing the song of we don't have collateral. Your talk has inspired me to think out of the box and to grow, not just accept what the current situation is. Thank you so much. And I'm happy to hear you have supply chain financing, because at We Connect International, we connect women-owned businesses to corporate buyers, and they're always crying they don't have access to money. So very happy to be here. Good morning, DTB customers, and excited to be here with you again. I know that there's been 2 times I've not been here, but I've been with you in spirit as my colleagues have taken you through business. I think it was business continuity and AI. So I'm very excited to be back here with you. And this is one of my favorite topics, expanding your business through strategic partnerships and global market. Some of you know that I serve different organizations, and part of my serving different organizations, some are in Kenya, some want to get into Kenya, some want to get into Africa. Currently, I serve We Connect International as the Africa Partnerships Lead, and my role is to support We Connect Kenya to certify women-owned businesses so that they're connected to corporate buyers, and we are in 135 markets. So, and if you're looking for supply chain, supply chain finance, Suraj has told us where to get it. What a day to be alive. Partnerships is your key to success. Anything that we don't have there's something we used to say, self-made man anymore. We grow through partnerships, and we are becoming more inclusive, and that's how we grow. So very excited to be here, and building strong business networks for growth. What do we need to do? The first thing we need to understand is that networks give us access. And networks are not automatic. Networks are intentional. The first intentionality about networks is that you need to know who you are. You need to know what are you looking for in life, all right? You need to know how can you contribute to the well-being of others, so that you can know how to grow your network. Who do you need in your network? Who needs to be in your network? Networking gives you access. And the good thing about access is that everybody you need to know is 6 steps away from you. Everybody, all right? So today I can say I know somebody who provides supply chain finance, and I'll give them Suraj's number. Who do you know that you can connect us to? Just think about it. And then what types of networks do we have? Before I go to the types of networks, I'd like to explain my terminology of what networking is. Networking is the cultivation of relationships, okay, for mutual benefit. So it is the process. When you hear cultivation, you think about farming. And in farming, you must sow a seed. Before you sow the seed, you must make sure the ground is right. You water the seed, and then you get the harvest. So also is networking. The seed of networking is the value that you contribute. The ground of networking is where do you want to network? Where do you want to drop your seed and water it so that it brings up harvest for you? Many people join networks, they don't do the work of network, and they get nothing, and they say that network doesn't help. I tell everyone, if the network doesn't help, look in the mirror, and you'll find out who is not putting in the work, all right? So the types of networks, we have industry associations. Earlier, a lady introduced herself, and she said she's in real estate. We have associations for real estate. We have one for women called Women in Real Estate, WIRE, all right? So you become a member of that one. Becoming a member of any network does not just mean paying the money. It means paying the money. It means cultivating relationships with the people in the organization by contributing value. What are you good at? Who do you know that they're looking for that you can introduce to them? That is the work of the network. Showing up for the meetings, engaging on WhatsApp. Because if you're quiet in the WhatsApp, people won't remember you. How can you be memorable everywhere you go? How can you stand out? I know in Kenya, we have this tendency of being shy or passive. I boldly say that because I've lived in other cultures where I see them very bold, like in Nigeria. If a Nigerian is in the room, you will know. If an American is in the room, you will know. If a Kenyan is in the room, I will know. Because it will be the one shy person sitting somewhere, either drinking tea or beer. That's how I will know. And please don't get offended. I'm just telling you what I've noticed about us when I travel. But I love all of you. I'm a Kenyan and very proud Kenyan. So industry associations, I see you laughing. Which industry are you part of? I'm a leadership and development trainer. So there's a group out there, I think, called L&D. It's not a formal group, but it's a WhatsApp group. I'm in it. I'm part of SME Founders Association because I'm an SME. I'll give you all these contacts at the end if you stay till the end. Yeah. I'm also part of Organization of Women in International Trade. I'm part of We Connect Community. So all these contacts I'm going to give you at the end, and you don't have to join all. You need to know what you're looking for so that you can sow your seed in the most appropriate space. All right. And there are alumni groups. Which school did you go to? Is there an alumni group? I went to Kenya High. Do we have any women from Kenya High here? If you're from Kenya High, let me just see some emojis from you. I'm a Kenya High girl. Yes, I see the love. Yes. Bomerians in the house. Fantastic. All right. And then there are trade bodies. Kenya National Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Organization of Women in International Trade, industry associations. These are professional associations like MRSK, Marketing, MSK, the one for marketing. There's one for public relations people. You had the one that Suraj is part of the accounting. So which one is yours? You need to be part of an industry association, a professional association, and what I call a social, a corporate, a CSR, corporate social, a CSR space like Toastmasters, Rotary, Lions Club, those places where people do good together. Those people that do good together are normally business owners or professionals of some sort that can connect you to one person or another. So you're not just going for the connection, but you're going in to bring value and contribute value. So you're engaging and you're exchanging value. People are getting to know you. Are you credible? Are you the one who always gives excuses? Are you the one who's always complaining? So remember that in this network, people are observing to look for other people who can be in their network. So how you show up is important. Be authentic. Don't be a whiner. Be a winner. And of course, there are always things to whine about, but don't whine. Choose to find a way out. Choose to find how to fix it. I always say anything that you complain about is a sign that you can fix it, but you're just being too lazy to do it. I want to manage my time here since we shared time so that I don't take you over. So use networks to unlock clients, unlock partners, and knowledge, all right? You give knowledge, you gain knowledge, you get to know people, and you move on. Please list 5 networks you belong to and rate their value. So you can just list your network. I already listed mine, SME Founders Association or SFA, and you list them out of 10. Out of 10, how did you say they are doing? There's Owit, I'll give a 10. All right, there's We Connect, I'll give a 10. And then who else did I tell you? I'm getting ready to join the chamber. So just put yours in the chat and I'll come back later and look at them, or Mantui is going to help me. So leveraging strategic partnerships to scale, what do you need to do? These are my 3 R's before you request. The first R is you research your potential partner. All these networks I've shared, the ones you're going to see in the chat, please share yours in the chat so others can see. The ones that you see in the chat or the ones that you're looking to join, each one of them, do your research. Go to their website, find out when they began, what are some impact stories you see there, and then visit them physically. Don't just visit them once and join. Visit them a couple of times to see if they're consistent in what it is they do. See who the people are. Don't judge the people because you never know which stage of business they are in. Until you engage with them, you won't really know. So do your research And then also, once you're in a network and you meet somebody you'd like to engage with, do your research on them, all right? SMEs, we are very poor at doing research. We trust people very fast and get our hands burned. And once we get our hands burned, we don't do it again. So we need to understand that as entrepreneurs, we are going to make mistakes. And when we make those mistakes, we learn from them and keep moving. Now, if you make a mistake and never ever do it again, that is a recipe of closing your business. So you learn from it and know how to do it better. If you've been in a network and somebody has burnt your fingers, it doesn't mean that you will not go to another network. There are accidents out there every day, but you still go out. You might even be out right now, all right? So be reasonable and objective when it comes to running your business. And then reach out. So once you've done your research and you know which land you want to cultivate your seed in, then you reach out with value. You reach out, find out. I want to be very careful how I say this. There are two kinds of people. There's the first person is the one who never pays for any network. They're always looking for things that are free. They can go and eat samosa and tea, and then after that they'll complain the food was bad, the venue was bad, and everything was bad, and they did not pay anything. And then there's the other one who pays but doesn't want to do anything because they have paid. I have news for you. Notice the word is network. So whichever one you are, you need to understand there's going to be work before you can win, all right? So lead with value. What is your value? I know my greatest value is connecting people. I love connecting people. So my greatest value is access. No wonder I work with WeConnect, all right? I position myself to know anybody an SME is looking for, you can ask me and I'll find them for you. Whether it is in HR, accounting, whatever it is that business owners do. And that's why I started the organization SME Founders Association, where you can get all the help you need to get access to money, to get access to markets, and to get access to mentors. So what is your value? When people are talking in a room and you're not there, what do they say about you? The one who's always coming late, the one who likes complaining, or is it the one who does ABCD? All right, it's up to you to position yourself in spaces where you can be remembered, and you can be remembered by your value. How do you get remembered by your value? Always be prepared to introduce yourself. Any opportunity you get to introduce yourself, your first 6 words are very critical. Never ever start with, especially if you're an entrepreneur in a space, never ever start with, what do we normally start with? Oh, I didn't know I was going to be called to speak. I have a small business. Oh, I started the other day. I'm one of you, so I know all that kind of things you say. So DTB has brought you redemption. When you enter a room, your first 6 words are important, and your first 6 steps. So you cannot start with, I'm sorry I'm late because there was traffic. You have finished yourself, because they're going to remember you, oh, the late comer, all right? Start, you know you're going to be asked who you are. You know you're going to be asked what your company does. My name is Frida Owinga. I help people turn their passion to profit. I'm very excited about being here today, and I'm looking forward to engaging with you. Don't say I'm looking forward to do business with all of you. You sound like a hunter. Okay, and you cannot do business with all of them because you don't know them. You don't know what they want. You don't know if they're interested in you. It's like a girl going into a room full of men and saying, I want to date all of you. Which man is going to date her? None. So when you want everyone, you get no one. So be very intentional. Today, I'm looking for women who would like to be connected to corporate clients. Okay, my name is Frida Owinga. I'm the Africa Partnerships Lead at WeConnect, and today I'm looking for women who are interested in getting connected to corporate buyers. Share your card with me, and I'll let you know how to do that. And you can actually do that in the chat. No, don't do it in the chat. I'll give you a number. You can send your information. So this is not something you are born with. This is something you can learn. All the traits of success can be learned, and I welcome you to learn them as an entrepreneur. So reach out with value. The first value you reach out with is your introduction. The next value you reach out with is your follow-up. When you're engaging with people at a networking event, share your business card after you have talked to them, who you are, listened to who they are. If who they are is something you're interested in or someone you're interested in, give them your card. Once you have that card, ensure that you follow up. I've told you before that I do my follow-ups on Friday. Anybody who wants to meet with me, meets with me on Friday to pick my brain, and it is 100% free. If you want to meet me during my working hours, I might charge you. If you send me an email, I'll always reply, and it is free. Now, every week we offer something. And this is what I found interesting. Every week, whatever we have offered, there are people who jump into our office WhatsApp group and say they're interested. Then when they're given the next step, it might be a program that has a small fee. Remember, DTB is paying for this one. So Passion Profit is not as big as DTB to give you things free. So some things we'll offer, they are free. Some of the things may have a small cost. We did the reset framework when we talked about time and priorities. There's a challenge that we do for 2,500. Many people signed up. When the email was sent out to them, none of them came back to us. No, one came back and he later picked my brain. Thank you very much. So why am I sharing this? This is not just at DTB. Anywhere you go, there's information that somebody has paid for it. And the person who has paid for it is giving you access to information. Now, beyond that, you may need to invest to get more information. Be willing to do that. Don't just be somebody who's always expecting things for free, because free doesn't go very far. So the 3 R's of leveraging partnerships: relate, build trust before pitching. That's why I said you can't stand up and say, I'm looking forward to doing business with all of you. Maybe instead of that, you could say, I'm looking for women. Who is your target audience? What are you looking to give them? That is what you should say. I'm looking forward to helping anyone who'd like to turn their passion into profit. I'm looking forward to engage with women who are looking to connect to corporate markets. I'm looking for SMEs who are looking for access to capital, so I can introduce them to Suraj so that they can start making money. So strategic partners solve shared problems. So you want to show that you're a solution provider. So cultivate relationship before making that ask. Don't be in a hurry to ask somebody for something if you have not, before you have given anything. And I know, and women, we are more relational, so we tend to think like that. Men are more transactional. The other day, somebody sent me, they saw me speaking somewhere, and they later sent me a message to speak to me. And then I went to their website and I saw they do strategic plans, and I asked them, how much is it? The next thing, they sent me a quotation. He never called me. He just through WhatsApp. A woman would never do that. So I told him, take it easy. And now I told him, I want to meet you so I can see why you send people quotations so quickly. Maybe I'll make more money faster. But my style is get to know me. Allow me to know you before I can, before we can engage. I need to know who you have worked with before. I want to hear how you speak. There are questions I will ask you that will give me red flags. I cannot give you my money 50% of 250,000 for a WhatsApp message that you've sent me. First of all, that is a red flag for me. You're a transactional person. I don't think I want to work with you. All right. I don't know you enough to work with you anyway. Okay. So you need to have your deal breakers. All right. What is the value you bring? What is the value you're looking for? What are the red flags that tell you hold on, or the orange flags that tell you stop? Now, this is a success story that Zuri Organics, we're talking about going beyond borders. Zuri Organics is an organization that partnered with an organization called Mama Africa. They scaled by this partnership with diaspora-based distributor, who is the Mama Africa, through bulk shipments, shared marketing, and trust. She got 3% revenue growth plus joint training programs. Joint training programs because together they can get a donor or a development partner who would be willing to train their customers, as opposed to if Zuri Organics went alone. Lesson here is partnership create win-win outcomes. Right now, we have had Suraj say that many of us don't have a collateral and we cannot access more money. So how do we start that journey of collateral? You can have a chama that you contribute money with. You don't have to buy a house together, but it can help you save enough money so that you can start putting down the down payment. At SME Founders Association, they have the Catalyst program. The Catalyst program, they save and borrow their own money. And that saving and borrowing their own money gives a financial institution the comfort that these people are together. They have records. This is how they have been saving and borrowing. They can be trusted. More money can be given to them. So the disadvantage we have as small business owners in Africa, we were not taught about partnerships, and we don't trust each other enough to work together. Look at the Asian communities. Look at the Somali community. They go far faster because they work together. But how about you and I? Okay, SME Founders Association was created for people like us who are fearful of trusting others. So it's a system where we can trust each other, work together, and make more money together. So getting into cross-border trade, fundamentals, I'm going to share fundamentals of exporting cross-border as EAC and COMESA. So you will require your export readiness checklist. Remember, before you can export, you must be compliant at home. Charity begins at home. And just like Suraj told us, is as a small and medium enterprise, whether you're MSMEs, SME, whoever business whichever business you're doing as a trader, the first thing is you must register your entity. The second thing, your registration is what shows somebody else that this is a professional business, all right? So you need to be compliant. You need to keep your accounting records. Your accounting records are so important because at one point or another, if you're going to scale, somebody will want to see your audited accounts. Your audited accounts informs them how your business is generating and spending money so that they can trust you. And when you're in physical meetings, I often ask people, who can lend me money? I have a small problem. I just need 1,000 shillings. I'll give it back to you. Guess what? Nobody gets up. Then I ask them why. They say, we don't know you. How will you pay it back? Will you pay it back with interest? Similarly, the bank or any other person you're going to partner with has a right to ask you. They have a systemized way of getting that information from you, either asking you to fill a form, provide documents, and if you don't have those documents, that's the first way they know that you're not legible. They have so many thousands they're speaking to. Right now, we've been told if you want to access DTB, there are many service agents across the country. So you think they're going to just trust you because of what you have said? It is these documents that are going to show them that you're credible. And then your credit history is going to show them that you borrow and pay money appropriately. Now, you want to go beyond Kenya and you don't have those documents. Will that person you're going to work with on the other side really believe you? I don't think so. So I need us to have to shift our minds as small business owners to ensure that if you're going to run a small business, that we have the documents that are required. Just like a Kenyan, you're required to have your ID and your PIN. As a business owner, you're required to have a business registration and your PIN, your audited accounts. Ideally, you should have some social media presence, and social media presence is not just LinkedIn and Facebook. All the information you gather on LinkedIn and Facebook, if the policies around LinkedIn and Facebook change when you're sleeping and you wake up and LinkedIn and Facebook are gone, you will not have that data. All that data will be with them. But if you have a website and you have a link that invites people to a newsletter or some other product or item, those contacts stay with you. The form they fill on your website stays with you. So we like those social media spaces because they are free, but they're not really free. The people that host them are making a hell lot of money. So you can start making money with your website, because if you show somebody you have a website, the kind of traffic that is coming to your website, they can advertise on your website. You can put Google ads on your website. So don't be lazy or entranced by the free social media platforms. Get a website and get it today. You can get a professional website. We can get a professional website with a professional website maker from 25,000. You can say you want to do it yourself. That is fine. Just like some people say, my tooth is hurting, I will go to the dentist and invest in it because the dentist was taught how to remove my teeth, or I will remove it myself. Chaguo ni lako, all right? I don't like doing work that I've not been trained for, so I don't remove my own tooth. I go to the dentist. Similarly, I have many websites and I have website developers that help me. I don't say it is expensive, I invest in it because I know when I invest in it, some people are laughing. I know when I invest in it, I will get good help. I will get a website that has search engine optimization that other people will be able to see, because they're not going to be looking for Frida Owinga. You get, they're going to be looking for the problems I solve. So if I just put myself Frida Owinga, they don't know who that is. They don't go and Google Frida Owinga if they've never met me. So also, you need to have a website, and I'll show you how. But for now, fundamentals of exporting cross-border, first make sure you are compliant in your country, and then on the other side, is there a demand for what it is that you want to take there, all right? Do you have capacity to meet the demand in Kenya and to meet the demand abroad? And abroad is not, let me not say abroad, cross-border, all right? So there's something you're supplying in Kenya, you want to go and supply it in Uganda. Are you meeting the demand in Kenya? Do you have capacity to meet demand of Kenya and Uganda? Do you have a partner you can work with in Kenya to meet the volume of Uganda? If the answer is yes, go ahead. Use digital platforms to test and expand. Digital platforms are going to think, we used to have Jumia, there's the one for China, there's Etsy or something for selling art crafts. I'm going to think of it before we finish now. That you can put your stuff on. And then there's another one in Tanzania. So remind me, I have two that I need to tell you. There's also one in Tanzania. Is it Mama Africa? There's one in Tanzania, something Africa. I'll share it shortly. So moving along, who is EAC and what is EAC? We are talking about developing partnerships so you can build your capacity here in Kenya and even go cross-border. Before you go abroad, Uganda and the rest, you must first be compliant at home. So EAC stands for East Africa Community. It was established in 2000. Our headquarters is in Arusha, Tanzania, and these are the countries that are in EAC. There's a lot of there's a lot of market in DRC. So if you hear there's a DRC trip, let me know. Let's go together, but let's come together and go. Then there is the population of EAC is over 300 million. That's the kind of market you'd be able to access if you're organized and compliant. The purpose is deep regional integration for economic growth and development. So these countries came together to form the EAC. And why should this matter for you? The customs union and common market, free movement of goods, people, and services within East Africa. All right. So you don't need a visa to go to these places. You can enter in and out as you please. Lower or no tariffs for intra-Africa trade. Just like we pay VAT when we're here, when we go across the border, there will be a tax for us to pay. But if you go within EAC, there's lower or no tariff at all. You get that? So harmonized standards and procedures across these countries, the 9 countries that are in East Africa, easier market entry across 8 countries. And then there's opportunities in trade, in transport, in agribusiness and services. What are we growing in Kenya that is not grown in those countries? Like DRC, I hear needs everything, right? But it's important to first go and explore, because I'm sure there are Kenyans there already, okay? So what don't they have that you can supply before you start, okay? Transport, just going from one country to another country, people need transport. Agribusiness, there are people who have food in their country that we don't have in our country, so they can bring it to our country, or we can take the food that we have into their countries. And then different services. Kenya, people look at us as like the British. Our services are preferred and revered, even though here we complain. But the way we speak, the way we do things is very good. Tanzania people are great, but they're not as fast as we are. You find them very slow, but they're good people. And so you need to know how are those countries, where do they need help? Rwanda, we call Rwanda the Switzerland of East Africa. Oh my God, you should see their border people. They all wear the thing on their head, helmet. The cities are clean. There's light at night. I remember one time we were in Rwanda for I can't remember which conference we had gone for. And I think it was all because we had whatever event it was, there were Nigerians in the bath. We were coming from the hotel. We were coming from the conference, being sent back to the hotel, and the lights were on. And you could have heard the Nigerians. All the Nigerians were saying, look, NEPA is on, NEPA is on. NEPA is their Kenya Power. I don't know what NEPA stands for, but I discovered it's their Kenya Power. And they were all saying, look and see that the Rwanda NEPA is on. I was so shocked. I've never complained about Kenya Power again. These are African women in business in another country. Anyway, tembea uone. So to leverage EAC, what do you need to do? And these are just starting points. So number one, register with your country's trade export authority. In Kenya, I believe it is KEPROBA or KenTrade. So find out and register with them. Understand the EAC rules of origin for duty-free trade. Use EAC e-government. This is information that you can find online. I believe KenTrade or KEPROBA. Start with those two, because we used to have the Export Promotion Council that has come together with the branding agency to be KEPROBA. And then we have KenTrade. KenTrade has a portal online that you can Google and go to the info portal of KenTrade to see if you want to export avocados, where should they go? What do you need? So for Kenya, go to KenTrade. And then use EAC, e-government and customs platforms if you're going to do things around East Africa. But first, know things about Kenya. Partner with regional distributors and service providers. What is it that you want to take on the other side? Find out, are there distributors that you can work with, all right? Attend EAC Business Expos. The one for this year is going to be in Uganda. I believe it's going to be in October. You can visit KEPROBA to learn more. KEPROBA is Kenya Promotion Branding Agency, okay? I think they're in Anniversary Towers, not I think, they're there. Then to attend business expos and matchmaking events. I cannot say this enough. Ensure that you are first compliant at home before you start thinking of going across borders. So we have the EAC, East Africa Community, and then we have COMESA. And COMESA is the Common Market for East and Southern Africa, established in 1994 with headquarters in Lusaka, Zambia. Remember, East Africa has 9 countries, COMESA has 21, all right? And they have, I'm sorry I didn't put all of them, Kenya, Egypt, Uganda, Ethiopia. So you can Google that and see which other countries are there, but there are a total of 21. It covers over 600 million people. Remember, Kenya, Uganda are here, but they're also in East Africa. So COMESA is like East Africa and others, okay? So Eastern and Southern Africa. Then we have, their goal is regional economic integration through trade and investment. So why does COMESA matter for us? Number one, it's a free trade area, reduced or zero tariffs within member states, okay? So remember how Trump is giving people with tariffs, he's putting it up the way he pleases and making business very expensive. Things from China to America, the tariffs have been put very high, so the prices are high and hurting Americans. And they've been doing trade with China for a long time. A lot of things are manufactured in China and then brought very cheaply and then brought to America and sold at very high prices. So with the tariff going up, it has affected those businesses and some have stopped doing business with America. So these are things that is important for you to know so you take advantage. I know we are always running abroad, but Hapa Africa, we need to start doing things with other Africans, okay? So that we build ourselves up also. So number two, there's simplified customs and trade procedures. If you're trading between those two regional blocks, there's easier access to large regional market, and then support for SMEs through trade finance and capacity building exists because we have different trade programs. Right now at Passion Profit, we are working with trade support institutions, and we are looking to strengthen them so that we can foster the increase of exporters. And some of them are going to be taking women-owned businesses who are in fresh produce to Germany. There's a European Union and EU export market exposure that's coming up in October. Again, when I give you our office number, you can share. You need to be in fresh produce. You need to be already exporting. You need to be able to pay your own airfare. You see, what really amazes me is people want to go across the borders, but they want UN or ITC to pay for them. You're not ready. If you want to go across the borders, you're a business that is making money and you're looking to make more money. And part of you're looking to make more money as an SME, you must be willing to invest in it. We have been given so many free things, wonderful. However, we need to grow. It's just like you having children. They live with you, you feed them, you take them to school, and they're continuing to want things from you. Utachoka. You will be tired, all right? So SMEs, that is how we have become, okay? We want everything. Is government paying? Is UN paying? But now we are making money. If your child was making money and still living with you, you will not be happy. You need to support them until they get to that place. So also as SMEs, the bank gives us free programs like this. We learn, we take action, we grow, and we move on. That is how economic development happens. So it doesn't mean that everything should be for free. We are grateful for the DTBs and the KBAs to give us information of how to access more information to grow. But this should not be the norm, that as a business owner, I want everything for free. Anytime you ask, is it free? Remember your child, okay? After you have fed him, taken him to school, and he now has money and he's still coming back to you for bus fare, you will not be happy. So let us grow up as SMEs. Remember, I'm an SME, so I know us. And me, I'm changing. I'm turning a new leaf. So if you're going to turn a new leaf with me, join me, all right? So opportunity to scale regionally without major trade barriers is the advantage of leveraging EAC and COMESA. So how do you start working with COMESA? Register with National Export and Trade Authorities. Again, all this information you can find out from Kentrade or KEPROBA. Understand and apply rules of origin for duty-free benefits. We strengthen them, but they do the work. I'm not getting into their work. I can guide you where to go. They help you, and we go together. Partner with trade support institutions and chambers of commerce. Chamber of Commerce is a good place to partner with also, but many of us, and lately they have put down a price for SMEs. So you can partner with another SME and pay it, all right? So don't just look for things for free. I can't say that enough. You will not be small forever. All right, just like your baby grew, you are also going to grow if you agree. How did your baby grow? Your baby grew by you taking him or her to antenatal clinic, no, postnatal clinic. They were making sure they're eating right, they're growing right. And those are what these sessions do for us. Okay, the sessions we get for free from financial institutions or development partners help us to gauge where are we in our growth. But this should not be all that we have. Otherwise, it will be like that child who is only drinking milk and not getting to start eating solid foods. So register with National Export and Trade Authorities, understand and apply rules of origin for duty-free benefits. You need to show that once you're registered, you need to show that your goods are coming from that COMESA countries so that you are not charged at the border post. Partner with trade support institutions, I said that already. Participate in COMESA trade fairs and digital platforms. And I can hear all of you asking, how do we know? Go to KEPROBA, because KEPROBA is the Kenya Promotion Branding Agency. They need to know when it was, before they became KEPROBA, the Kenya Export Authority or something are the ones who used to have a list of all the trade fairs in the world. So today they're with KEPROBA. You can check on their website. I doubt you'll find it there. But if you carry yourself there and ask, I'm an SME, I want to get into trade. What kind of programs do you have? What kind of exhibitions exist? And then you'll get to know. So tembea uone. Don't just be a keyboard warrior doing things behind your keyboard. Sometimes get out and go there, all right? participate, I said that, build partnerships within the commercial market. All right. SMEs, it is our year for growth. I'm not kidding you. This thing is not moving. Okay, there we go. So some essentials that you'll need: export documentation essentials. Number one, you'll need a pro forma and commercial invoice. What amazes me today that when I work with an SME and I tell the SME to send me a quote or an invoice, they have no clue what to do, or they start fumbling, or it takes them a while. So as a business owner, just like when you do work for an organization and they ask you for an invoice, they have a process. You should also be ready with that process here at home before you go abroad. The pro forma invoice will show how much you're charging. If they agree it is right, then it becomes a commercial invoice in time for payment. You need to have a packing list showing the things that you have packed that are going to go on the other side. Certificate of origin, which is stamped to show that the goods you have packed are really actually from Kenya. Bill of lading, which is the document of showing that the things have left Kenya and are coming to your country. You see how for money we say, send me the M-Pesa confirmation. For export, you send the bill of lading. It shows the flight number, the produce has been put in, and it also shows when it will arrive there. There's a tracking number, and you need to have an export license, because these people want to see that you are legitimate, all right? And then customs forms, whatever custom forms they're there to fill, you make sure they're filled. There's something called HS code. Every product has an HS code. So you can refer to it. You don't have to know them all in your head. They're with KRA, I believe. You look for the HS code that is appropriate for your products, because these HS codes are universal. When it gets to whichever country you're going to, you are taxed according to that HS code. So you want to make sure you have the right HS code so that you get the tariff-free rate when your products get on the other side. You want to have insurance. What if something happens on the sea or the air? You need to have insurance that will keep you safe, will keep your products safe. Make sure you have inspection certificates depending on what it is you're selling. If it is fresh produce, there are standards that are followed. So just remember that this is not something you can learn in one webinar, but in this webinar, I'm giving you tips so that you can go and get more information before you jump into this ship. So these are the essentials that you need to know, and then find out where to get them and make sure you get them. So the next thing here, understanding trade regulations and financial solutions.
Sorry, Frida.
Yes.
I think I would suggest a short break.
Okay.
And then we continue. I don't know.
We have 12:23. We've just done an hour. Okay.
Yeah.
What time do you want us to come back? Please, guys.
We can come back by 12:30.
Okay, fine. So we come back by 12:30 and we finish at 1. If you have questions, put them in the chat. See you at 12:30. Thank you.
Great, thank you. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We just took a short break, and we now want to continue with part 2 of the session. Really insightful insights being shared on how you can set up your business to explore exporting and expand in that regard. Our time is far much spent, so I won't waste any more time. Let's continue the session. Karibu sana, Frida.
Hi, do we have any questions? Are
Yes,
there any questions
do.
I can quickly answer? Okay,
Yes,
please
yes.
ask them for me.
All right, let me so an anonymous attendee asks, does registering with KEPROBA and KenTrade apply to services like consulting? How can one effectively build cross-border partnerships in this case? And then I'll also touch on another one. Tanzania just made a pronouncement that they do not allow non-citizens to operate businesses in the country. How does that align with the EAC policies or terms of agreement? And then another one. I don't know if, okay, let's just do those two first.
Okay, so there's somebody who wants to there's somebody who wants to export. Okay, that break threw me off a little bit. I was just changing this slide. Just give me 1 minute. Ask
No
another
worries.
question.
No worries,
Ask
no worries.
another question.
So another anonymous
Mm.
attendee asks about partnerships. If I'm considering a white label partnership to resell online courses where the sample I've seen is promising, but I haven't reviewed the full catalog and the provider requires an upfront financial commitment, what key factors should I evaluate to ensure it aligns with my brand, protects my reputation, and makes business sense? So that's on partnering, and I believe it also touches on other businesses when you're working with people outside of maybe your country, or you're partnering with different people. So I think we can have a go at the 3 questions. Thank you.
All right. So somebody asking about partnering with. I'll answer it holistically in that before you partner, you want to research that other person. But because I don't know you enough, I cannot answer the questions you want. So it's important. You can send me an email, I'll reply to it. But first, what are you looking for? Know the other person. I think that was my next slide that is coming up. I'm going to suggest something. Let's hold the questions. I just have 1 slide. Then you can ask your questions and then we can close it. How is that? Okay.
Yeah,
Because I'm
think that
sure the
works.
things you're asking, I was going to talk about them. So please, it will serve everybody and save our time. Okay. So understanding trade regulations, I did that already. And then, okay, so this is where we're at. So I had 2 slides. I was trying to make them 1 slide to fit in our time. Then the time went, so pardon me. So, and now it keeps skipping. We did that. Practical. Okay, so we're going to do this. This will answer the questions you're asking. I already talked about complying with rules of origin, HS codes and product standards, access to finance, get trade finance, grants, insurance, invoice discounting, improve financial literacy to de-risk your expansion. So now this slide is expanded. You can see it properly.
Sorry, Fida, thank you. I don't know if you're sharing.
No, I'm sharing, but my slides went off, so it's not
Okay.
showing clearly. So just give me, this slide has gone off kidogo. It's coming up. Okay, it's not, it expanded, and because of time, I can't do it back. But the first thing you must do is do your market research, all right? Do your market research. The person who is talking about partnering with somebody, doing a white label, whoever you want to work with, you must know about them. Knowing about them is contacting them, having an exploratory call with them, getting to understand what are their requirements, knowing if the requirements they have for you are a good fit for your organization before you go forward. That stands for everybody. Going to Tanzania, I also did see that Tanzania does not want to trade with us. I have not looked much into that. Keproba can help you with that. So you can visit the Keproba office. And then what was the 3rd question, Mantuli?
The third question was around consulting. So does the same apply now? Registering with Keproba and Kentrade, if it applies to services like consulting.
Now, consulting is a little products you must register. But you see, consulting is, especially when done virtually, you are not really you are not signing up as somebody exporting consulting. You get that? I teach in Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa. You get, because I'm teaching across what do you call it? Virtually, or I get on the plane and I go there. All right. So wherever I'm going, they already have a standardized way of teaching or consulting. So I'm going as part of that team. All right. So they're the ones who guide me what I need to do to be able to work with their country. That's why it goes back to number 1, do your market research. And for here, market research does not mean just finding out which consulting company to work with, but finding the consulting company you need to work with, contacting them, asking them what you need. It is so much better than asking a random consultant here, I'll give you what I do, but I don't know you. I don't know where you want to go. Then it's not going to fit. I hope I've answered your question. So before you register with the Kentrade or Keproba, whichever authority, before you register with whichever authority, find where you want to go. Ask them what is on their side. They will tell you, before we can engage with you, you need to have ABCD from your country. Then you are better guided than getting information in the dark. I hope I've answered you. And I'm sorry today time is not on our side, so identify my slides went off. Just give me 1 second here. I'll move this in the middle. You see all the work I do to make sure that you have a good experience. So forgive me, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, but I know there's some perfectionists also in the crowd. If that thing is not looking right, they're going to ask questions. So I'm done. Okay. So strategic partnership and export planning, what you can do next, and then I'll answer your questions here. Number one,
to share the screen.
You're not seeing?
Yes.
I'm sharing. You can't see it?
No.
Sorry.
But also participants can also confirm you're able to see the slides.
There.
Yeah.
Okay, now.
Can you see it now?
Yeah, it's coming up.
Okay, fantastic. Sorry about that. So as we wind up, put your questions in the question and answer icon, and then partnership and export action plan. 3 things you can do right away. Number one partner that you need to pursue, 1 export market you want to explore, and then 3 action steps for next week. When you think of the partner, what are you selling? Is it product or is it services? Engage them, all right? And the beautiful thing is you can have a virtual call. Let them know why you are interested in them. Ask them what, I'd like to have an exploratory call with you. I'm from Kenya. This is what I do. I've been on your website and this is what I saw, or wherever it is that you saw them. And then put up a call together. Ideally, have a virtual call. Avoid WhatsApp. I know we like WhatsApp, but WhatsApp, you can't see that person's face. You don't know who you are talking to. When you have a virtual call, open your camera. Let them see you. Talk. Because see, when you're also seeing somebody, you can see body language and all that. Talk, connect, get to know each other before you jump on a plane or bus to go and meet them, all right? Ask them, who else have they done the kind of work you're trying to do with them? Get the contacts. Contact those people to get to know. Because if somebody wants to cheat you, they can cheat you one-on-one, but for them to cheat you through 3-4 other people, it's going to take a bit of work. So in that meeting, tell them, oh, you are doing this work very well. Who are some people that you have worked with? Can you show us some examples? If you're on a virtual call like this, you can take screenshots. Many people get conned because we are not willing to put in the work to mitigate risk. We want to take shortcuts, do things quickly, and then we also get burnt very quickly for work that we have done over a long time. So all these tools we have are to help us to connect and engage more easily. Use them. WhatsApp is for chatting, for writing. Business, get into a virtual room. It will also show that you're more professional, all right? Open your camera. Ask them, who else have you worked with? What is their website? And you go with your colleague so that as they're saying those things, you can quickly Google and find out so that you are mitigating your risk as much as possible. Remember, this person is in another country and you're going to partner with them in work that you have been doing for X amount of time, and then you lose everything. It can be very sad. So after that, 1 export market to explore, I would start with EAC. Okay, EAC, because it is East Africa, there are 9 countries to explore, or even COMESA if you have not started at all. But again, remember, before you start, get your house in order. And that is all I have for you today, I believe. Yeah, so I promised to share with you some networks that can help you. We connect, and I was going to give you a demo of their website, because on their website, Once you register with them, registration is free. I know that will make the free people very happy, but it's a process. You go to the network. The first registration document you will fill is free, but it will send you information to create an account. Create an account, they'll ask you for your business documents. Because see, just doing that free also is not, does not give the corporate buyer comfort that you are a registered business. So once you do the first step, you fill in a short form, check your email. There's going to be an email that requires you to say more about your business in terms of filling in documents and stuff like that. Be willing to put in the work so that you can get the reward. That is the website. That is the WhatsApp number for WeConnect. You can send a WhatsApp there and you can get more information. And then SME Founders Association, again, that is their WhatsApp number. That's the website. WeConnect, you can register for free, 100%, or you can invest in becoming a certified. To be certified is $350, and it's a process, and that is, you get a certification for 3 years. So do the math. That math, 3 years divided by 350. And then SME Founders Association, 5,000, and 5,000 a year, not a month. OWIT International Kenya. Oh my God, I don't have their website. I think their website is always, just send an email to, send a WhatsApp to any of those numbers and say you want information for OWIT, and we'll send, the people handling those funds will send you the numbers. Even you can send it to the Passion Profit WhatsApp. But OWIT, they support women to get into international trade. They have a mentorship program, and they do trade mentorship and advocacy. So if you're even men can join, by the way. It's just that women are the majority. And then, of course, WhatsApp for Passion Profit is at the bottom there. So you can take a screenshot of this as I attempt to answer your questions in the time that we have left. Mantui, do we have questions?
Thank you so much, Frida, and even now for equipping us with practical ways we can start and associations we can join. So thank you so much for breaking down strategic partnerships that we can take advantage of both in Kenya and outside. Asante sana. Thank you. So I will read a few questions. So for example, which authority offers the certificate of origin? And then we have a question similar to the consulting one. How do services exports differ from goods export? And I think just holistically, even in terms of packaging and, what makes the services export stand out. And then, I think we can begin with those two. Thank you.
So I'll start with what is the difference between products and services? Products are goods, all right? Something like, if you can see my screen, something that you can sell, handicrafts, something that is tangible. Services is like training, digital things that are not tangible, all right? They can be sold online over the line. And then where do we get the certificate of origin? I believe it is Kentrade. And you see, some of these things you can Google, my friends. But I'll going to check for you here. Ask me another question.
All right. So Patricia asks, for a business looking to build networks of partnerships in the East African region and also in the continent, where do you start? I know you've covered, so maybe you can just give that one thing that after this call, a business owner who's looking to begin this journey, the very first place they can begin.
The very first place you can begin, so certificate of origin you can get from Kenya National Chamber of Commerce. All right. And then what one thing do you do? I said earlier, I already covered this, like you said. Number one, who do you want to partner with and why? Get into a call with them. Okay. Next.
Yes, okay, thank you. I see a number of people asking about the Founders Association, how they can join, and the networking links. I think this has been covered. So thank you for that. And then we have,
I'll share the screen. They can take a screenshot, but carry on.
yes, thank you.
As
Let
you
me
ask the questions, let me bring up the screen.
All right. I see some participants have raised their hands. So, Geoffrey, I'll allow you to speak.
Okay. Good morning, Geoffrey.
Okay, I don't know if Geoffrey is able to. Geoffrey, if you can hear us, you're on mute. All right, I think we have another question on, again, partnership, and I think this has also been covered. And when I look at
maybe they were drinking water. What is the question? We help them.
Yes, so the same thing, but okay, this is a bit more specific. So maybe let me just read it out.
Okay.
This is Silas who says, I am looking for a business partnership to venture into water purification, packaging, and distribution business in Kakamega. How can I go about it to get a serious business partner?
Oh, I really like that. Now, partnership requires networking. And remember, I told you networking is what? So you want a partner of purified water. The first thing is, once you are assured that you have all the necessary compliance, and you can visit Kakamega. You go to Kakamega, or you can Google and see if there are water purifying companies in Kakamega. If there are, call them, get a call with them. If there aren't, you go to Kakamega. You look at which are the shops there, who is a distributor, carry some samples of your water, carry information about who you have supplied water to. If you have people who are happy with your water, carry that evidence also, because Kakamega is not far. I'm thinking you're in Kenya, so it's just a bus away or a car drive away. You get, it's really as practical as that. But remember, first, ensure that you're good at home before you go to Kakamega. Back to you, Mantui.
Thank you, Frida. Geoffrey, I've seen you've been able to unmute. You can go ahead.
Hi, Geoffrey. It is networks.
Yeah, I think might have an issue. Geoffrey, one more time. Okay, I think we're good. So a lot of the questions are similar. So, and I think we've covered the majority of them. Again, I would say for the DTB questions, we really encourage participants to reach out so that we can address the very specific questions. And I shared the number earlier, so I'll share this one more time. So I think, Frida, now we can just wind up and you can give us again, as usual, the one thing that participants can walk away with from today's session and your closing remarks.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, participants. Thank you so much for being here. I believe next week is our last session, and I look forward to spending the time with you on how to work with the Profit First methodology. Networking, for me, this is my most, the best and most interesting topic. Networking, call it networking partnerships, because I've discovered that alone I can only do so much. But I've come to believe that everything rises and falls on relationships. And the beautiful thing about relationships, they're cultivated one conversation at a time. So as a business owner, always remember that when you're speaking to somebody, when you're having a good day or a bad day, you never know who that person is. You don't know who they know that they can connect you to, because everybody is just 6 steps away. And life has a way of humbling us by making people who we treat badly come back to us. So relationships and strategic partnerships is about people, and business is about solving people's problems. Be nice. On that bad day, take a walk. Don't go to the shop, all right? And then remember, your network is your network. Cultivate seeds of value in places where you're looking value. I have given you 3. I may have given you more. WeConnect, if you're a woman-owned business looking to connect with corporate buyers, make sure you sign up for that. You can even start with the free one. There's a Live Africa Business. Those that want to go in cross borders, I think it's on the 20th and 21st, later this month. If you send your name to that number, they will let you know when they have their Live Africa Business Immersion, how to win, connecting you to contracts and capital. It's just a 4-hour webinar, 2 hours on 2 days. You can get that information. If you send your name to that number, they will give you how to become registered. And when you send your name to these places, be sure to follow up. I'm giving you contacts of people I know. Be nice. Don't just send a hi and you don't say what you want. And then when they respond, you also don't respond, because it is a connection, it is access, but there's work for you to do. We thank DTB for having us here, for bringing us experts to give us information. Let us be intentional about using this information, apply it, and let us grow together. I thank you very much for having me, DTB, and see you all next week. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Frida. Always a great time of learning. And just like Frida said, we will be here next week. It's been a great session today, right from Suraj, our director, sharing insights.
Oh, Suraj was amazing.
Yes,
I'm opening a DTB account.
Thank you, karibu sana. You know, and we've covered cash flow management, and you've gotten secrets on how you can take your business to the next level. And then you now took us to exports and strategic partnerships. I think, like you said, there's really no excuse for our participants to take their businesses to the next level. So we will have our last module next week, and it will be on Profit First, a smart approach to financial success. So I think it would be a good way to tie together all that we have been learning across all these weeks. And thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for your commitment, for showing up, for engaging. And, you know, we really appreciate it, because we know that when we bring value, we'll be ready to receive it. And now we cannot wait to see the value again that will come from this. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Frida. Thank you to Abigail and Lillian, who've been our sign language interpreters today. And we will see you all next week, same time, same place. Have a good day.
Fantastic. Thank you, and bye-bye. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye-bye.